I work with someone incredibly intimidating, and she seems to love confrontation. I am confrontation avoidant. I believe it is cultural for her, and I do not think she needs to come off harsh, but it gets very hard not to take it personally over so much time. Any suggestions?
That's a tricky one, right? I mean, again, as I alluded to earlier, one of the ways that I tend to approach sweaty palm conversations or talking to people about stuff, even and especially when I feel intimidated by them, is if you can lower the waterline a little bit with them to let them know how you feel. Now, if it's a dynamic where it feels like, hey, this person's really intimidating and I'm intimidated by them, this person seems to like conflict, I seem to avoid it. There can be a power dynamic in that situation, even if they're not, I mean, if they happen to be my boss or supervisor, there's that. But I often find that the best way to give people feedback is to let them know the impact that they're having, not a judgment. If, hey, you're too intimidating. Hey, you're too loud or you're too intense. Those are all judgments. Someone's going to get defensive, right? That's all self-righteousness. If I let someone know, hey, you know what? I notice I feel nervous around you. I notice I second guess myself. I bite my tongue. I don't say things because I'm afraid you're going to overpower me or whatever. And you see how that's different than like, you're too intense. It's like, I struggle sometimes in knowing how to engage effectively with you. That's not going to magically make the person change, but hopefully it'll make them stop and pause and get curious. Like, really? Why or what? Like just some understanding of, oh, and maybe over time that can adjust some of how they interact with us and in general. But that's often the best way to get people's attention in that regard.